What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome, welcome. I can wait a little bit for people to file in. Look at this terrible microphone placement. Whoop, there it is. It's like right in front of the tree. That kind of ruins it. But, you know, we're out here. Look at this shirt. I need to refresh this shirt. I'm going to come up with a new design. The merch store is going to get an overhaul. Probably not, like, right now, but in the coming months, the merch store will get an overhaul, and I'll make a big deal about it. Probably wait like a minute or two for people to start filing in, but I do want to get started right away because I'm gung-ho. Let me pop over to Discord. Announcement made to the Discord. Gonna work on my TypeScript soul-crushing BS work. Good luck with that. Oof. I don't have much experience with TypeScript, and kind of thankful for that. What's up, Angry Jenkins? How you doing? Welcome. Ever seen that TypeScript meme? I have no idea what you're talking about. I gotta look at some of my Twitch stuff here. There's so many notifications on this website. I just don't like use Twitch. Creator dashboard. I need to get more emotes. Okay, cool. That's all good. All right, jump in here in a couple minutes. Hello, Dave. Thank you for the bash course. Very much appreciated. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that you appreciate it. I think that's awesome. It took a lot of work. I am so glad we are here now. I am so stoked to have that finally done. And now it can free me up to work on other things. I won't have that giant looming project over my head. So hopefully I'll be busting out some more content. I think I said this before. I'm going to go a little bit slow on the content for the rest of the month just because, you know, kind of give myself a little break. That bash course took a long time. These streams are fun. But when I come back January, we're going to be going hard into new content. Doesn't mean there won't be new videos in December. Like I already have one video idea to talk about something. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. I love hearing that people enjoy the bash course. Want to see my OCaml gist? Sure, yeah, if it's not a spoiler. I'm cool with that. You're in YouTube chat, so it might not let you send a link. So if you just want to send me, like, the gist, like, what does it look like? I think it's just, like, gist.github.com / your username / some ID. If you just want to, like, send the ID or whatever, you can send. Whatever allows you to share the gist, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I've been loving these streams. Thanks for doing them. You know what? Thank you. And I've been enjoying streaming. It's a lot of fun. I should definitely be streaming more often. So I think I'm going to keep streaming like into the new year. Not maybe every single night like I've kind of been doing, but you know, when I get a chance. It's a lot of fun. Why did it try to... Oh, that's so weird. You like escaped a character before your gist. That's so interesting. Oh, 1 second. Okay. So what exactly is this gist? Let's take a look. Also, I don't know OCaml, by the way. I don't know if I've told you that. I have no idea how this language works, so I won't even know what I'm looking at. Let's pull up the main interface. Also, is my Twitch stream working? The page looks like it might be frozen. Oh my god, Darkspace, what's up? Okay, Darkspace has proved that my Twitch stream is working. It looked like it was frozen on my end, but I think the page is just frozen. So, Darkspace, you missed me working on this so much in Bash and coming up with a solution that I let run all night, use 100% CPU, and it didn't even come close to finishing. So I'm going to tackle this in Rust, make sure that my logic is sound, try to get the right answer, and if I do that, then I'll backport it to Bash. But first we're going to check out this OCaml project, because I've never looked at OCaml, so we're going to see what we're getting into here. Look, we have the terminal open from last night. How fun. All right, infinitely execute a command, a utility for terminal panes. It's a work in progress. You use it like this: main.exe yarn dev. Okay, so you give it the name of the program like this. Perhaps a blit in the internet? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It was weird. It was the YouTube stream was fine, but the Twitch one just kind of froze. But Twitch's interface is always weird. YouTube is the one where I'm like, oh, this was made by adults. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. OCaml or Rust? I'm not sure what you're asking me. This is OCaml right here. We're looking at / project here. We haven't gotten into the advent of code stuff yet. Okay. It's work in progress. When you exit the shell, it doesn't currently fork the shell in the background exit. However, it kind of doesn't fork the shell in the background exit. Wouldn't you just... I mean, that kind of makes sense. This program wouldn't do that for you. Just be falling back to a shell. I'd have to see how this program actually gets used. Dude, I don't know what any of this stuff means. Is there a main method? All right. So you call main down here. Let main equals adjust term IO, run or interrupt. Dude, I couldn't even tell you what any of this stuff does. So adjust term IO is up here. So, well, I can see you turn off the echo. I don't know what iCanon is. Canonical mode, C-break mode. Oh, okay. I didn't know it was called that. Interesting. Okay, so you just configure the terminal, and then you go down here and you do the LWT main run or interrupt. Interesting. Okay. Basic menu will come up where you can press Control-C again to exit. I like that. Press S to go to the shell. Currently hard-coded to ZSH. Press R to restart the original pinned command. Oh, that's interesting. So this program brings you to like a new shell. You could follow it and still be in this program. That's interesting. Is like a future in Rust. Okay. I mean, that helps me. Yeah. It's basically made for me to pin a command to my WAS term pane. I plan to make it more advanced in the future. Say I'm running a command and dev environment like a development web server. Oh my god, you don't word wrap? That's crazy. I mean, you do have word wrapping on your editor, I assume. The server did not start for some reason. So you can go to the shell, correct it, exit the shell, and the program will restart originally command effortlessly. Okay. Okay, I got it. I got you. Wait for signal. Okay. Oh my god, wow. Okay, yeah. LWT pick. I'm guessing you're running these two things, and you can just pick whichever one finishes early. This is me guessing. up, Wishmaster? How you doing? I've already done day 11 and I've already done day 12 part 1. This is the only problem I have left, is day 10 part 2. This is the only problem we have left. You wrote the comment in the gist, not your code. Yeah, put it in the code, man. Array.ofList. Dude, this is wild. OCaml's wild. This is interesting. I'd have to sit down and actually learn this language. I don't know this language at all, so this is all just crazy nonsense to me. Yeah, it is surprisingly readable, but I think it's fake readable. I'm looking at this, I'm I think I know what's going on, but what the heck is this? What is this? So it looks readable, but I couldn't tell you the specifics of this. But yeah, cool. All right, let's get started here. Let's not waste any time. Oh my God, what's this? Is this a link to my Bash course that I released? Course.ysap.sh. Why would I be shilling it like this? It's free. It's completely free. It's a video on YouTube. You can go check it out, and you can pay a $10 fee, and you will get a free digital download if you want it without the ads. But yeah, there's my Bash course. 7.5 hours of Bash content. So pretty cool. Go check it out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try and finish what we started this last week. And I'm getting sick of doing it in Bash because I don't even know if my algorithm's working. I don't even know if it makes sense. So we're going to rewrite in Rust. I'm comfortable in this language. It will run very fast. We'll see if we can get an answer. And if we can, then we can backport it to Bash. I just combined Rust and Bash into one. Rush. Good band. All right. So let's do this. Oh my God, we have so many things here. I forgot about that. Also, for anyone who's curious from last stream, I let the Bash solution thing run all night, 100% CPU, and I think it solved 5 or 6 more puzzles. ls out new word count dash l, 151 out of 177, but it was not making progress on some of them, so it was brutal. So cargo new part 2. Oh, you can't see it. Thank you. Here's what we have here. So I just ls out new. You can see 151 there. And now I'm going to run cargo new part 2. So we can actually start making some progress. Right, part 2 already exists. Rust part 2. There we go. CD into Rust part 2. Cargo add anyhow. Let's just add that for basic errors here. Cargo build. There we go. Let's go ahead and vim this. So what do we have here? Use anyhow results. This will return a result of nothing. Okay, and the first thing we have to do is we have to read the file, and we'll take the file as the first argument. So we'll say use standard fs, let input equals, but we could just do this. We could say items equals parse input file, and that will take the file name. Okay, so now we can define this. So we can say parse input file will take the f name, which is a reference to a string, and it will return something, probably a vec of something. So let's just put this in here for now. Let's just say it's a vec of strings. It's not going to be, but let's just put that here for now. There we go. And then what's the last thing? We need an f name. So f name equals standard, and let's just do env args dot collect. Args is a vec of args, and now we can say let f name equal args 0. Go ahead and get a reference to that, and let's compile this, make sure we're writing some good bash. Are you going to remove the nested get auto-generated by cargo? Yes. Yes, I am. Before I check it in, absolutely. I didn't include standard environment. I'm going to pull in a Rust format that I use, which I've probably used in previous ones. Do I have VSV? I don't. What are some Rust projects I have? Let's just grab one of these. Day 16, Rust impl, Rust format. Put it in day 25, or 2025, day 10, Rust part 2. There we go. So now I can cargo clippy and cargo format. Nice. Are you using any plugins for Rust and Vim? Am I? I don't actually know. If I put like bad syntax here. No, I'm not. I don't like that. I like just my editor to be very simple. Just a casual 1K line math solver in Gleam. That's insanity. Congratulations, but that is insanity. That's awesome to hear. When is the Rust course being released? Listen, I said, let the dust settle from the bash course before I think of doing a Rust course. But it would be fun to do a Rust course. It wouldn't be as comprehensive as my bash course. Like I'd be like more geared towards beginner because I'm not a Rust expert. But it would be fun. Yeah, I don't grasp OCaml, but I haven't spent much time with OCaml, so I couldn't say. You can't remember the standard libs. Yeah, I the language server protocols, they're so distracting to me, you know what I mean? Like I'm one step away from getting rid of syntax highlighting because like it's distracting, especially if you type like something wrong in and then it's like highlighted red until it's done. Like I know it sounds like I'm memeing or I'm making that up, but like I'm being so dead serious. Like sometimes that just does distract me. So what are we doing? Parse input file. The first thing we need to do is we need to say input equals fs read to string fname. There we go. So now we have the input as a string. We've read the whole thing in. So now we just need to loop over it. So for line in input dot lines. Do we need to enumerate them? We don't actually need to. Let's see. What do you think of Nix/NixOS? I know you can use Nix on Mac, similar to Homebrew. Never used it. I just personally never used it, so I don't have any thoughts when it comes to it. Just never really been interested. I don't know too much what it would get me. From what I've looked at, it seems like a neat idea, but like, I don't know, I like going into the terminal and like scripting things, and NixOS seems like, hey, you don't need the terminal for this. So kind of takes the fun out of computers. In my mind. I can see use cases for it. I'm not saying I don't like it, but like, I've just never really used it. I used to be using Vim Vanilla just like the 2, but eventually I needed several features of Tree Sitter and LSP for larger projects. Yeah, I just haven't needed them yet, luckily. So maybe if I worked on a bigger Rust project, but for now, I'm totally fine. Yeah. All right, there we go. Let's just make sure this works. Stream did not contain valid UTF-8. What are we reading from? Oh, I'm reading from arg0, so that's not good. It's reading itself, isn't it? There we go. There we go. Okay, so now it's perfectly reading line by line. That's amazing. So to parse the input file, we need to parse it. How do we do this? Split it, right? I think it's split white space. Okay, now how do you slice into an array? I have to think about, because I don't know some of this syntax off the top of my head, but we'll mess with it. Rust programming is used only for fun, not in the real world. I don't know where you got that idea from. I don't agree with that at all. I use it at my day job. I see a lot of big companies out there using it. Rust is legit. Okay, here we go. We have a nice split of all of them. So we can throw out the first item of that. I'm gonna look up the standard lib, rust vec. Look this up 8,000 different times. How do you, is there like a slice or I guess a dot remove? Probably dot remove, right? Removes an element from the position index, shifting all elements to the left because the shifts over the elements and has worst case of O of n. Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess we just remove the 0th element from it. It's probably a more, performant way. Remove the unneeded light markers. So spl dot remove 0. I think it returns something, so I think we can just do this. Oh, do we need to mark it as a mut? Yeah, we do, because we're mutating it. There we go. Okay. So now we have a list of the buttons, and we have all the joltage markers at the end. Is there a way to pop off the end of the array? Oh yeah, you could definitely skip one on the iterator. Yeah, let's just do that. That's cleaner. There we go. Oh, there is a dot last. That's interesting. Does that work on the vec, or does that work on the iterator? It might just work on the iterator. I don't know about that being on the vec. Dot pop. Nice. Even me, notorious Rust hater, got my company to switch to rough. Oh my god, switch to rough and UV, which are both Rust tools for Python. Oh, that's cool. I've heard of UV. I've never heard of rough, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, last is iter. Okay, so pop is definitely what I want. Does pop actually remove? Let's go ahead and pull up the thing for pop here. Removes the last element of the vector and returns it none if it's empty. If you'd like to pop the first element, consider using pop front. Okay, but this actually, okay, cool. So it actually does mutate it. That's good. So let's go ahead and do this. And let's say joltages equals SPL dot pop. And then we can, we could really just unwrap it, but we could just say, just unwrap it. I don't care. Rough is a formatter and linter. Oh, okay, cool. So there we go. So now we have this. Now we can say, now we have to actually just format these because right now we just have strings of these. So we have to turn these into something a little bit more usable. Yo, what's up, NMBB? How you doing? So if I wanted to store arbitrary numbers in something that could be of any size, I need a vec, don't I? Because each joltage could have different sets in it. I can't just make an arbitrary size tuple. I think I do need a vec for this. Just works. Last works on vecs too because of derefs slice, which supports it. Oh, okay, that's cool. Let's work on the joltages real quick. So let's print line joltages. All right, so we have that. So we need to remove the, let me think. We need to remove, is there an easy way in Rust? Rust, remove char from string. Is there an easy way to just remove characters from a string? Can I just replace, probably replace, right? Like, let's see. Because I just had this line here. We could do like, for mut line, and we could say like line equals or line dot replace. Let me just see if this works. Let's replace all parentheses with nothing. Does this work? I'm just making up syntax here. Oh, that's not a character literal. It'd have to be this, wouldn't it? Well, it'll help if I print out the joltages. Let's do this. Nope, that doesn't seem to work. Can I just do this? I see what the problem is. Okay, that works. It's ugly. It's probably a better way to do this. I like that you're not a Rust expert, because I'm not either. If you were, you might be too advanced to teach me anything. Yeah, dude, I'm definitely not a Rust expert. So these returns new things, so I could just do this. Super ugly, but, you know, we're trying to get the answer fast. I just want to verify this algorithm works. There we go. That looks good. What? You can write replace like that? That's crazy. I didn't know you could do this. According to that syntax, I can do this. I can replace a list of literals. That's crazy. Well, it would help if I close that bracket there. Wow, I did not know that works. Does it work? Cargo run. Hey, it works. That's awesome. Okay, so now we have the joltages and we have the buttons. There we go. Okay, so now we have this. Thanks, Clippy. Exactly. Oh, don't worry. You're watching my live stream, so you're not going to see any wild libraries. You're going to see the most I'm trying desperately to make this work thing. Could I abstract these into types? I probably should make it bash friendly, so I should probably convert these to numbers like I did with translate input. But if I didn't, I could keep it bash friendly. So what I mean is like this button, I could have some sort of object that knows when to turn on and off buttons, but I could also just have a binary number like translate input does. So like we read the joltage into an array, that's awesome. But then for the button, what we do is we read the button into an array, and then we loop over that. What the hell do we get the length? We get the length from the joltages. And then we do this calculation to turn it into a binary number. So I think that might be the way to do it. Working on binary numbers is just going to be faster and more bash friendly. So the joltages are the SPL pop and unwrap, so we actually just have the joltages as an array, or a vector, I should say. So that's great. Or no, do we have the joltages? We just have the joltages as a string, don't we? Yeah. Split on let joltages equals joltages dot split on comma dot collect. We'll collect that into a vector. So now when we print the joltages, it should be a vector of them. Okay, nice. It's a vector of strings, I just noticed. Why'd you stop using Bash and start using Rust? Because the solution was too hard to come up with in Bash. I was just struggling to even know if it works. So we're going to use Rust. It's going to be a lot faster to come up with a solution that works. And then when I do find one that works, I will port it back to Bash. I got to take these out. Whew. All right. What am I doing? When I split on the this, I need to convert them to a number. Can I? It's an iterator, right? I can just map on it. Can I just do this? Clippy will yell at me, but like it works, right? Yeah, that works. Okay. Then I just need to convert this to a number. How do you? I just do like what numbers do we want to use here? I guess we'll just do I64 across the board. I64. Parse, that's not the right syntax. Let's do this. Let's make it a vec of I64, and then let's just call x.parse .unwrap. I think that works. X.parse. Ah, thank you. I always get that. Was it the turbo fish or whatever? I always get that syntax messed up. I always do it wrong the first time. Why Rust? The same reason. Why Bash? I just like it. That's it. Rust is probably the language it's probably the fastest compiled language that I am the most efficient at writing. Like I can write C, but it would take me a lot longer to do this. Rust, I have a lot of nice built-in things I can just use. So it might not be the most efficient thing in the world, but it's way more efficient than Bash. So we can get the answer way more timely. So we have that. Then we have our buttons. So we have to convert the buttons to a number. So let buttons equal buttons dot split. What is buttons? Yeah. Oh, we have to map it. How do you do it? Do you do into iter dot map, and then we have some sort of button here. So we can do b dot split on the comma, and then now we have an iterator of this, so we have to go through. There's so much work here. We're going to be really bad programmers. Well, not really bad programmers, actually. Let's make a new function. Button text button to number. So we'll take the button as a str separated by commas, and we'll convert it to an I64. There we go. So we can do buttons.into_iter, and we can map that to text button to number of x. And then we can just collect on that. It's a vec of I64. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. So now we can go down here and we have that button here. So we can say let elements equal button.split on commas, collect. Now we have a vec of stirs effectively. And then what do we have here? We have these like this. So now we have 0, 2, 3, 4. So we have to turn them into I64s themselves. That's silly. Now I have to go steal the logic from part 2 where I do that. Convert number to button. Oh, it's in translate. So we have to steal this logic. If we want to convert the button stir, we also need the length. Probably should be a U size, but we're going to keep everything I64. And the len is the len of joltages. That's correct. Does Bash have a does Bash have raising to a power? Not Bash, Rust. Rust. Does it have an exponent operator? I think it does. Base.pow? What is this? It's a .pow? Okay. Okay. .pow. Interesting. Yeah. Oh my god. Cheap viewers on streamboo.com? Dude, I can't wait to buy some cheap viewers. That's so crazy you would do that. And where is it? That message is gone. That's crazy. Oh my god. What does unwrap do in C terms? Is there a short explanation or an explanation at all? I don't know about C terms. Unwrap basically says like, I mean, Rust has like containers. Rust has like a result type or an option type, but like for a result type, it could work or it could have an error. Unwrap says, hey, assert that this worked, and if it didn't work, just fail. Yeah, pretty much what Evan said in the YouTube chat. You're also in the YouTube chat. Len minus element minus 1. Okay, and then we just put num here. Awesome. Can I say something regarding the solution I came up with? Bear in mind, it almost definitely doesn't work. If it's a spoiler, then no. That's an I64. Found U size. Oh, that makes sense because len is a U size. Yeah. Yeah. That's fun. Now, why? What's happening here? Can I call POW on ambiguous numeric type? Okay, that's really fun. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not. You're gonna know if it's a spoiler or not rather than I am. If you're on the fence about it, then no, don't share it. If it could possibly like spoil any solution or like push me in any sort of direction, that's what I'm trying to say. Like if you have like a good idea of like what's going on. Do I really just have to do this? This seems silly. Yo, dealing with numbers is the absolute worst. It is just the absolute worst. In Rust. Did you go to uni for CS? I don't have a computer science degree. I did go to college for one, but my degree is slightly different than computer science. It's not that I was going for computer engineering first. I dropped out of that. Then I was doing a bunch of computer science classes. So I ended up with a special degree that I don't remember the exact name for, but it's geared more towards networking and like system administration stuff. Because the school I went to had a really cool program for that. So it is not your classical like CS degree, but I still went to college and got a degree. Yeah, just don't say it. If it could possibly count as one, don't say it. But we'll see how far I can get tonight here. Expected U32, found U size. Oh my goodness. I know all the inputs valid, so let's just cheat. I'm so sick of this. It's the worst part about Rust. All right. Text button to number, text button to number. All right. Cargo run. Okay. Now let's cat the example and pipe it into translate. So 3547 should become 15231012, 15231012. 23 617, 23 617, and 6238, 6238. Okay, cool. We are correctly translating the data. So what are we doing here? What are we returning? We have the joltages and the buttons. So we should probably just return the joltages and the buttons, right? What are these called in the puzzle? What does the puzzle refer to them? That'll inform our naming. One machine per line. Okay, we will call this a machine. A machine will have joltages, which is a vec of I64, and it will have buttons, which is a vec of I64. Cool. So we could start adding some functions to this, like is valid, or we can start caching these somewhere. But for now, that is what we have. So we can return this. We could say let machine equal machine, joltages, buttons, and then out dot push machine. Is it insert? It's insert. Out dot insert machine. No, it's push, isn't it? I think it's push for vecs. And then this should be, this function should return a vec of machine. And then we get down here, we get print line, items. Yeah, it's push. I thought it was push. Right. In place back, yeah. God, I remember that from last year. Insert is for add an index. Oh, okay, cool, yeah. Insert is also like, I think like a hash set and stuff. But that makes sense. I guess you give it the index, so yeah. Okay, we have machines. We have 3 machines. They have joltages and they have buttons. Okay, awesome. Now we need a function that can solve a machine. Let's go ahead and just start implementing some functions here. Normally this is a little bit of an anti-pattern, just trying to guess what kind of functions we'll need, but I want to put some here that we might benefit from. So impl machine fun is solved. We'll take a reference to self, and it will return a bool, and it will have to check if all the joltages are 0. Is valid. We'll do the same thing. Okay. And then if it's valid, we'll say for joltage in self.joltages, if joltage less than 0, then we will return false. Otherwise, we will return true. So this is how we determine if it's valid. And then for is solved, we'll go here and we'll say if joltage not equal 0, we'll return false because it's not solved. Here we go. If not, let me think. No, I guess we don't need this. Yeah, this is perfect. For joltage, if joltage is not equal to 0, then we return false. Otherwise, we return true. That's how we know if it's solved or not. Okay. Nice. We have some nice little helper functions. Do I really need this? It seems silly. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. Yeah, wait, hold on. This doesn't seem right. Self-joltages, yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you. I'm sure that's probably idiomatic in Rust, but I prefer to just write it like where it's very obvious what I'm trying to do here. But I want to understand what's happening here. Move occurs because self.voltages is a type of vec. Oh, because it's a vec. Okay. Yeah. So I could do, there's a couple things I could do here. Isn't this the default? Oh, isn't .iter the default, or am I crazy here? Yeah, but then when you do this, you have to dereference it. What am I missing here? Like, this seems like it should be a lot simpler than I'm making here. Because it's just a number. We're just checking it against a number. We have a reference to, like, is this really right? I mean, obviously I could do what you guys are saying with the iter and the map and all that stuff, but like, I find that way harder to read. Okay, we have is solved and we have is valid. That is beautiful. We have all these functions to do all this stuff now. Awesome. Parse input file name. Now we will do for machine in machines. Do now we just need a should we make a function as part of the class, or should we make a I use a modal text editor in the terminal with inline diagnostic from, yeah, your setup. Yeah, no, I would not be able to deal with that. I would lose my mind if I had to use that. Should I make it as part of the implementation for the machine, like solve, find shortest path, solve joltages, find solution, or should I just make it take a machine, because then we can like make new machines? How could you cheat on Bash like this? All right. We'll have a solve. Nope, can't fast forward this live. We have not solved it yet. And this will return the steps taken, so we'll return an I-64. I guess we should return an option. And then we can assert. So we have a solve method here, and this is where all of our logic will go. And now we're going to get some of that logic from our part 2. Guessing Rust isn't a daily driver language for you. I don't know it as well as I know Bash. I'm decently comfortable with it, but like when I use it in my day job, we're dealing with Rust projects that are a lot of times like written, so I'm kind of going in there and modifying things that have been written. So I'm not usually writing brand new stuff from scratch. I am sometimes, but not all the time. Okay. Oh, we do caches here. Yeah. We'll worry about adding a cache later. Figure out the light form of current joltages. Okay. So our solve function will look like this. If self dot is solved, return sum 0. Takes 0 presses to get there. If self dot is valid, if not is valid, then we will return none. There's no valid solution. So hey, that's pretty good. I've been learning Python this last month or so I should probably be doing some from nothing exercise. Yeah, definitely useful to do that. So now if we are down here, then we have a valid configuration that is not solved, so we have to start solving it. So we need to first figure out light form, mod 2 of the joltage to figure out what to do next. Okay, so we need to turn the joltages into the light form. So we could do lights equals to lights on self dot joltages. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and we'll make a nice little function to lights that will take a, is this right? I think this is the right syntax. I-64, and it will return, I guess we could modify. No, we'll return a result. No, not a result. Return a vec of bools. Yeah, we just return a vec of bools. It'll be, you know, positive or if it's even or odd, basically. So we could say let out equals vec. Is there a particular reason you love Bash against other languages or more comfortability? I mean, I like a lot of different languages. I'm very comfortable in Bash. But that's not like the only language I write. Especially like if you're working at any job ever, like you're going to be writing most likely other languages. So I'm a big fan of Rust. I like Rust too. But yeah, I don't know. Bash is just fun. If it's divisible by 2, then it's off. Okay. I think that's how we do it. Okay, for machine to machines, not found in scope. Expected vec bool because of return type. It's got a result of a vec bool. Did I put okay around it without thinking? I did. My weekend will be devoted to watching your bash course. Let's go, dude. Love hearing that. What I could do here, I can make you guys happy. I could do joltages.iter.map the digit to digit modularly divided by 2 equal 1. And then I could collect that. There we go. There's some idiomatic rust, right? Okay. Hooray! Okay, now in our solve function, we just have lights. Let me go down here. For machine and machines, let mut total equals 0. Let num equal machine dot solve dot unwrap. And then we'll do total plus equal num, print line, took, total. It's going to be so satisfying when we get the star. I hope so. I hope this works. True, true, false, true. So if we look at the first line of the example, it should be true, true, false, true. Hey, look at that. We're awesome. Oh, man. I always told people not to use bash at work because everyone had Macs, and stock Mac bash kind of sucked at the time. Not sure if it still does. It still does. They're not going to change it. It has to do with the licensing. You just have to be comfortable writing scripts for bash 3.2. A lot of people in my chat don't even yell rewrite it in Rust. I think a lot of people don't actually like that. Some people do, but I think a lot of people prefer the bash. All right. What are we doing now? We had it to do there. Okay. So now we need to check if all the lights are on, yes or no. I'm just thinking of things we can cache, but let's not worry about that right now. One step at a time. All right, let me take a little break. All right. There's a max of 13 switches in any row. I don't know what you mean. Best way to learn Rust with what projects, or throw Advent, get through? I wouldn't go with Advent and Code first. I really wouldn't. Unless you already have like a way of solving in a different language, maybe that'd be a good way to do it. But no, I just like coming up with like fun projects and just being able to write them that way. All right, so we have these lights. Now we need to check if the lights are, if there are any lights turned on. Vex have an any, right? I can check if any of them have something in it. Or is it the iter has any? Like I could say if any are true. I think I can do that, right? There's no like contained in a vec. What is it? Find? Does vec have find? Does an iterator have find? As long as one of those things has it. We can just start making up syntax and seeing if it works. Because if we have lights here, we need to figure out, okay, odd or even check has lights. Let's just do this. Let has some lights on, has lights on equal lights dot any true. I'm making up syntax. I don't think that's right, but let's, yeah, okay, not found in a vector. How do you find if any one item from the vector matches something? There's got to be like a find or a, maybe the iterator has any. No, because then vec would have it, right? Iter any? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I guess I was on the right track, but yeah, you have to turn into an iterator, so that makes sense. Can I just do this? Nah, it requires a function. Okay. 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 If has lights on, let's make it match the other one. Okay. Otherwise, okay. So if all the lights are off, then we need to try and solve the one below it by dividing by 2. So first we have to divide everything by 2. Should I make a new machine for this? Yeah. I should probably try and make a new machine for this, right? Okay, so we divided by 2. Now we need to try and solve that new machine. So let's go ahead and make a new machine. It's probably a way more efficient way to do this, but let's just do this for now. Where joltages is half and buttons is, I can't do this, can I? Can I clone this? Can you clone a vec if all the items in the vec are clonable? You can. Let answer equals machine dot solve. And let me think. Hey Dave, thank you so much for the effort you put into the course. Kudos to you from Portugal. Hey, thank you so much. What a nice thing to say. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream, and yeah, I appreciate the kind words. That's super nice. Let me pull back up my part 2 here and see what I was doing. We cut it in half, we get the answer. If it worked, then we return the answer. Otherwise, we return none. Okay. You seem a bit rusty today, dude. So true. So true in both aspects of it. Yes, I'm writing Rust, and also, yes, I've just, oof. It's been a while since I've done, like, this kind of Rust programming. So now that we have this, we can say, we can just do this. We can match machine.solve. And if it's sum n, then we can return. Oh, can we do this? Is this valid syntax? Yeah, it is, right? Yeah, look at that. If it's sum n, then we will do n times 2. And if it's none, then we will just return none. So what I should actually do, get ready for this, guys. Get ready for this. I'm going to get really rusty here. Let's do this. Get ready. Machine.solve.map n times 2. And then we might even be able to get rid of this return, and we just, you know, implicitly return it at the bottom of this if-else branch. But we'll get to that as we get there. I'm just keeping the return because I had all this like bad code in my old one, so we'll see if we even need that one. I've shared the course in all the dev chats I hang out in. It's got a permanent bookmark now. Thank you. Yes, thank you everyone for sharing the course. Like, that's super cool. If you guys don't know, I made a bash course. It's a free video on YouTube. Literally course.ysap.sh. It's free. It's 7 hours long. It just dropped yesterday. Ton of time and effort went into it. If you want to learn bash scripting, hey, go check out the course. Share it with all your friends, developers, whatever. Like, I would appreciate that. Like, obviously don't spam it. I'm not asking you to go out and spam it. But if you have like friends or colleagues that you think would enjoy it, go ahead and share it with them. Like, that'd be super cool, you guys. Okay. Let's go back here. You also can curl it. Yeah, I don't want to spoil that. And maybe it'd be fun if the curl did have more. Okay, I'm going to spoil it. Course.ysap.sh. You do get this. I think it'd be fun if there was like more, because I could put like the chapter markers in it or like a link to the video or something. You guys can help me with that. Also, it is open source, so you could commit changes to it if you wanted. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out where to go with that. Bash feels much more readable than Rust. It depends on what you're used to seeing. I mean, I low-key agree, but you know. All right. Get your mom a gift certificate to the Bash course for Christmas. Yeah, so true, so true. You're gonna definitely go in to get into it. Yeah, dude. And it's a lot, man. There's a lot in the course. So yeah. Spoil it, LMAO. It was in your promo video. Oh my god, was it really? Did I actually spoil in one of my videos? That's really funny if I did. I don't remember doing that, but like I don't doubt that I did, to be honest. Like, oh, that's so funny. All right, so now if we get down here, we have to find the fastest path to turn the lights off. We can cache this information too. We might even be able to pre-cache this information. If we know all the buttons, then we know every possible combination the buttons can be hit, and we could literally just map that out. Let's get to it when we get there. Bash is readable unless Bad Cop writes it. I need to send her this part of the video. That's really funny. Oh, that's so funny. All right. So let's say this. Let paths equals find paths to lights off. And this will take the, I guess it could, what should it take? It should take the light state and the buttons. Okay. And this is a slice of I64. No, slice of bool, right? Yeah. And then buttons is a slice of I64. There we go. And if we pass in the buttons, we have to pass in the len, don't we? No, the lights has the len for us. Okay. And this will return a vec of items. We're just going to call it strings for now, but it's going to return a vec of something. Okay. Now we have to loop over every possible combination of button presses. So in order to do that, we already have the logic here. Two to the power of the number of buttons there are, and we have to loop all the way up there. Okay. It contains spoilers for this puzzle? Kinda, yes. I'm aware of how she solved it. I know she did some linear algebra stuff, so I'm not going that route at all. So I don't know if I would consider this a spoiler, like, or, you know, the fact that you use linear algebra or whatever that stuff is. I'm definitely not going that route. I don't want to. So let max equals, it was 2 to the number of, two to the number of what? It was 2 to the number of buttons. And then you can do, can you just do this for I in 0 dot dot max? I think you can, right? Okay. Hi, are you using GNOME? Is your OS Arch-based or Debian-based? Right now, this is Mac OS. So this is Darwin-based. It's not Linux. For buttons, for button in buttons, for J and button in buttons dot enumerate. Can you do button dot enumerate, or do you need dot it or dot enumerate? We're gonna find out. We're gonna let the compiler tell me that. I got my answer. Favorite programming language aside from Bash? C, probably. If you run Linux on a Mac, do you get weird button symbols like this on the top of your window? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh. What did I write? Enumerates? Enumerates. Okay. Expected U32 found U size. Well, good news for you. We can just make anything here. Hope that's valid. Okay. For J and button, local K. I don't know why we're using K, but whatever. Equals 1 shifted over J. Now we can say if I and K, then is this valid? Oh yeah, these are bools, aren't they? Lights are bools. For buttons, dot enumerate. You know, all the bad. Yeah, trying to switch between languages is a mess. Expected bool found I-64. Oh. I can't just... Oh, you can't just put a number there? Okay, hold on. I have to do that? Okay. Let's put some debug in here. Okay. Okay, yeah, 2 should have 1, 3 should have 2 buttons. Okay, this all works. Okay. So now here. Button equals that. We get the button there. We don't need to do this because we're not there. Pressed plus equal button. Oh, it's because it's in translate. Yeah. New num XOR with button. New num is 0. If new num equals lights. Okay. I'm going to tell you in Twitch chat what I tell everyone else. Will there be a new guide? Let the bash guide settle. It took me way too long to work on that. The real answer is I do want to work on new guides. They are just extraordinarily time consuming. And don't get me wrong, I love giving content out for free, but it's a ton of work to do for free. I'm glad people are paying for it. No one has to pay for it. Sorry. No one feel pressure to pay for it. I made the decision to give it out for free. That is absolutely my doing. In the future, maybe I'll charge more for them, but I still like the idea of giving it away for free. So I still will make a course, and it will most likely be free in some capacity. But I do want to make courses in the future, but not anytime soon. Not in the next couple of months. But no, dude, you're not hounding me. You're good. The reception I have gotten from my course has been so incredibly positive. Like, everyone has just been so awesome. I love it. So I definitely got to do some fun there. Dark Space, you have to make the guide for C++, okay? I don't plan on doing that. If you're not comfortable in front of the camera, I don't know if you are or not. If you want me to present it, you write the whole script. Not even the script. You just write some programs and teach me how it works. I'll present it, but no, I don't see that happening. Yo, what up, Ash? What's going on? I would be binging if I weren't stuck in final season, jumping on as soon as breaks start. Yo, that's awesome. Good luck on finals, but yeah, no, that's yeah. I wondered about that when I released. I didn't even think about like all the students, like where they would be when it comes time to actually like do this. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Let me think. Not much, just got home. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Did you have a fun night? Did you do anything fun? Let me think. I have to think about what I'm doing here because we're not technically in bash, so we can cheat a little bit. But we need a way to turn these lights because we have the lights as a bools here. Yeah, I think we need a way to turn this Boolean representation of lights into a binary number. Christmas dinner with classmates. Nice, nice. That sounds fun. Hopefully it was fun. We have more functions that we can steal. Convert lights to numbers. That's what we need. I also want those fancy icons to switch to Twitch. So this takes lights, which is a this of I64. I want to keep this a little bit bash friendly, so that's why I'm kind of doing it this way. Oh, we don't even need the len. We have the len. Look at that. We should probably enumerate it, shouldn't we? For I light in lights dot iter dot enumerate if light then num plus equal base dot pow len minus I minus 1. We'll have to cast a whole bunch of crap here, but this is it. And so we'll return num here. Let base equals I64 2, and that's it. So we'll have to cast a whole bunch of stuff. It's gonna be yelling at me. Yeah. Going on here. I still need to learn the C++26 reflection. I don't even know what that is. I know what reflection is in an object-oriented sense. Is that like what's going on with C++? Twitch is better than YouTube for live content. I love YouTube, but Twitch has the lowest latency. Yo, Avitas 47, Avitas 47. Thank you for the tier 1 subscription on Twitch, dude. That's super nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. NMBB, what's up? There's like no latency in the Twitch chat. It's so nice. Small contribution to the Dave Holiday Fund and eventual Rust guide. Yo, get out of here. Last pronunciation was good. Don't worry, I'll forget which way I pronounced it last, so I'll have to rewatch this VOD. Reflection is a whole meta programming framework. Okay, is it like reflection like, because I remember like object-oriented programming languages and dealing like with reflection, where like an object can like peek inside itself and then you can kind of like write code around that. I don't know. Maybe it's a totally different thing, but yeah, meta programming gets so confusing so quickly. Unreachable, I don't care. Expected bool found I64. What? Oh yeah, lights are bool. I can't believe you guys are just putting an emoji on top of my icons. That's incredible that that is even allowed. I love that. I've touched Rust macros. Yeah, I think they're cool. They can just get really confusing. But I definitely think they're cool. Expected U32 found U size. Hey yo. Where do we get the U32? Where did we cheat last time? Oh, we just wrapped the whole thing? Oh, yeah, dude. Ash, what is happening here? If you were my mod, I would ban you. I did blend objects in Racket for a class this month, and it was pretty fun to do. Inheritance was difficult to do, though, and I only scratched the surface. Functional programming is very deep. Yes, it is very deep. That is very true. You have to spend... Dude, this feels like the average Rust experience. It's so true, honestly. All right, so we have a lights to number function here. So we can use it here. Find paths to lights off. Let num equal 0. If this, then num does something. XOR them together. Yeah. Num XOR equal the button. Yeah. And then if num, if lights to, no. Let want equals lights to number lights. If num equal want, then let or press dot push I press and this is a vec of I64s. What's happening in Twitch over here? You guys are wild with these emotes. Dude, I love the sunglasses. That's incredible. This costs 100 points. Oh my god, you guys using channel points for good over here. Kind of out of the loop, but why not use a language server? I've covered this too many times. I just find it distracting. That's really all it is. I just find it distracting. That's a big message, man. When would you say a noob starts really dealing with ownership in Rust programming? Would you suggest I start with another language to appreciate what Rust sets out to do, or is it okay to start with it? Personally, I'm trying to learn it because I heard it is fast and I needed it for robotics. Very noob reasoning, I know still. I'm biased because I didn't start with Rust. I would say learn a different language first because the ownership model is way different than anything I've seen before, but that's just me speaking from my experience. At the same time, I could see arguments for learning it first because if I came in knowing nothing about ownership, then my mind would be blank. Whereas I kind of already had an idea about how things should work and they did not work the way I thought they should work. So I thought the language was wrong. In reality, I had to change my own mental model of it. So I can't give you the best answer, but that's kind of my answer there. Like, you could start with it. It might be difficult. If you're not comfortable with just programming in general, go learn that first before you do this. I love Rust. Don't start with Rust. That's what Bob Null says. You know what? I can agree with that. What are you thinking when to make a function versus inlining the logic? Vibes. I don't have a better answer than that. Vibes. If I'm going to use it more than once, function. But other than that, vibes. I don't have a really good answer for it. All right, so let paths equals find path to lights off. Now we could cache these because there's no sense in doing this mathematical calculation over and over again. If we find no paths to line off, what do we do? I knew it was an unclosing delimiter. What is the key for majestic hair? Don't wash it every day. And yeah, I don't know. Appreciate the compliment though. I'm back after tying myself out. Thank you, Ash. Do we take the best one? We do. There should always be a path. There might not be a path. We'll have to deal with these when we encounter them. Yeah, I wash my hair once every like 3 or 4 days. It's pretty gross right now, pretty greasy, but like, yeah, that helps so much. And I don't even have like the best hair, but okay, we simulate it. Okay. So now we simulate the presses. I have to remember what this thing looks like. Testing path 22, testing path 27, testing path 34, testing path 44. I don't think that's right. Yeah, what are we? Oh, no. That is right. That is something. Hold on. We store the buttons we pressed. That's what we do here. We've just embedded them further. Okay. I see what's going on here. Find paths to light off. Okay. There we go. The function names, these I'm skipping between a bash script and a Rust script. So the hyphens between them, the kebab case is all in bash. What are my ears? Hold on. Okay, here we go. These are all the paths to off. Now we have to sort them based on the number of items. We have to optimize for this. We have to do paths.sort. Does it just, no, it won't sort by len. Will it sort by len? What does it sort by? Sorts by the first element of it. How do you sort by length? How do you, let's look up the sort method. Because I think you mean sort by, right? Sort something. Yeah, sort by key, sort by. There's really no better way to do this. Can I just do this? We get A and B, and now we just do A dot len dot compare B dot len. Is that right? It doesn't matter if I sort the inner vex or not. The inner vex are the buttons to press, and it doesn't matter what order I press them in. So like I could press 12-1 or I could press 1-12. I just want to sort it so the one with the least amount of buttons is at the beginning of the vec. So I want to sort it by the length. There we go. So this path, doesn't matter if I hit 1-12 or 12-1. Doesn't matter. 6-7. It doesn't matter which one I hit first. It just needs to be that I do the path 2 first, the path 3 first, I guess it doesn't technically matter that I do it this way, does it? I guess it technically doesn't matter. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe it matters. Thank you, Dark Space. Yeah, so now we have that. So now we have to try all the paths. God, if I'm getting this tonight, I am not porting it over to Bash tonight. That will just be too long, and that will wear on my sanity. Where am I in the code? Okay. Testing path. So in order to test this path, what do we have to do? We have to simulate pressing the buttons. Hey Dave, this looks interesting. Is it too late to join this Advent of Code event? Nope, it is never too late. There are over 10 years of puzzles on this website. It's called adventofcode.com. You can do that at any time. This year had days 1 through 12, so it already ended 5 days ago. I'm just still struggling with this puzzle. It is never too late. After this, I plan on jumping back all the way to 2015 and doing some of those puzzles. So yeah, I would say check it out now if you've never checked it out before. It is super cool. Super cool. Oh man, NMBB. All right, let's take a pause real quick. Let's read some questions. You started doing 2015 yesterday? That's awesome. NMBB says, Dave, do you have a piece of advice on how to be useful to juniors? I am a staff IC at a big org and was recently given a junior developer to work alongside me. I've gotten used to working on things on my own, just getting the stuff done without too much explanation to other people. I want this experience to be useful for them and not just sit and see how I type code or stare at the screen. That's a really good question. The fact that you're asking that question is a really good sign. Like, that means you're already on the right path to like thinking about this correctly. I think one of the best things is to ask this junior, because not all juniors are the same. They're not a monolith. Ask this person what their goals are. What do they want to get out of working at this company? Like, do they want to like maybe try to go for management or try to go for a promotion, or like where do they see themselves in their life? Get an idea of that, and then let that guide you and dictate sort of how you help them out. And ask like just straight up, be like, you know, are there parts of this that you struggle with? Do you think, are there things that you find difficult? Because we can work on that together. And then on top of that, I would just say focus on giving them projects if you can. I mean, you might not necessarily be, that was a loud note. If you can like give them projects and stuff that kind of work towards their strengths or even their weaknesses, try to figure out, basically just talk to them like they're a human. That's kind of how I would go about doing it. Also, there is sometimes value in them just watching you work and seeing like what a normal day-to-day thing looks like. So don't try to dress it up too much. Like when I was working on my Bash course, I didn't edit out all of my mistakes. I left some of the mistakes in there. Like that's just part of the learning process. So sometimes it might be useful just to be like, hey, like I'm going to show you how this works. It might be a little bit frustrating. I might be staring at the screen a little bit, but like this is part of it. So don't completely rule that experience out, but yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my advice there. Also asks their interests, and don't let people who don't like coding let you down. They are people just doing it for the money. Yeah, and that is totally valid. At a job, there are absolutely people that are doing it for the money. Totally valid, totally reasonable. That's why it helps to understand their goals. If you're like, I'll teach them how to program, they have no interest in that. Like certain things like that. Like, I don't know, I think it's totally fair. Is this similar to leak code? I've never done leak code, so I can't answer that. Thank you so much. Yeah, hopefully that was helpful. I prefer people who do it for the money. Yeah, there's all different types of people you'll encounter. I completely understand it. Did you end up finishing yesterday's puzzle? No, Ash, that's what we're working on. I let it run overnight and it did not get the answer. So we are trying to solve it here. So now we have to test these paths. So in this pass, we have to simulate this button press and simulate this button press. So let's do that. Part 2. Okay, loop the buttons. We need to press them. So we need to copy our joltages, simulate pressing the button. Okay. You haven't ever done leak code. Nope, I have not. I don't do leak code. I don't have a LinkedIn. I don't know. All this stuff's a waste of time. As I'm working on a programming puzzle right now. But this is fun. This is not for work. This is just entertainment. I enjoy these puzzles. For button in buttons. Oh, we have to loop over the lights. Okay. For I in 0.lights.len, let index equal base to the power of lights.len minus I minus 1. If IDX logically ands with the button we are pressing. Oh God. Very nested here. Ooh. You have this stream playing on 3 screens? Dude, that's awesome. I like to imagine, like, you just have, like, a house full of people and they'll all just have to, like, sit here and listen to me talk and play piano. How'd you do the POW and bash equivalent? Bash has that built in as a math operator. I can say star star to do exponent. So I could say 2 star star 5 to get the same as 2 raised to the 5th power. I probably stopped cutting my hair around 2022, maybe? I don't know. If you go back to some of my older videos, my hair is a lot shorter. You can see, like, especially on my first video. I used to have very, very short hair. This is valid code. Don't worry, Ash, I'm not cutting the hair. I like it. I've been stuck in this puzzle too for the past few days. Yeah, I have a working solution, I think, but haven't got it to run to completion yet. Thinking about moving on to days 11 and days 12 for now. That's what I did. I moved on to day 11. I moved on to day 12. I've done all that. That's why I'm back here at day 10. So yeah, good luck, man. Have to unsub, unmod myself if you did. Yeah, sleep another. Okay, for every possible path, we'll copy the joltages. We'll go through every button in that path, and then we'll, for I, we'll loop over that and we'll simulate the button press, and then we will make a new machine with those buttons. So we will say let machine equals machine with joltages and buttons is self.buttons.clone. And then we will do equals match machine.solve. This will either work or it won't work. In the case of the none, then we don't want to do anything. And in the case of the sum, which we get num, we will store that somewhere. So what we'll do is we'll get the best one here. None. So we have a best one now. So if we got some answer here, we can say if trying to think about how to do this. Since you program in Z, have you looked into Zig? I've never tried Zig. I don't know much about it, to be honest. Just looked at the problem text. Oh God. Black Shift. I don't know if you've looked. Have you looked at part 2? Because part 1 is something. Part 2 is something else. What day do you think was the hardest this year? This one. This one. Absolutely this one. Day 9 part 2 is a top contender, but day 10 part 2 has just completely obliterated me. All right, we got the answer. If the answer was none, then we don't do anything. If the answer is some, then we have to check if it's better than our best. So let's say, trying to think of an idiomatic way to do this. Match best. This is horrendous code. This is horrendous code. There's got to be a way to do this. I can just map it, right? Can you do ternaries? Did I just make that up in Rust? You can't just do ternaries. I just made that up, right? If b is less than num, then b else num. Will you do an awk script version? Absolutely not. Nope. Nope. What am I not using answer for? Answer. Oh, we don't need to store it. That's why. There's nothing to return here. I keep getting so close on your 2048 LOL. What? What do you mean? Getting so close? This isn't the end of the world. Let's go ahead and do a head -1 on this one. I mean, hey, we're failing, but where are we failing? 190. Put some debug in here. The game. Oh, listen, I'll be totally honest with you. There was a period. Okay. I played a game called Threes, and it's on like iOS and Android and stuff. And it's similar to 2048. Threes was like the first one to do it, and it's just a way better game. It is a way harder game, like a way harder game. Play Threes. I mean, it's like 15 years old at this point. Play Threes. Learn Threes. Get good at Threes. Come back to 2048. It is a joke how easy 2048 is. I don't say that to like, you know, diminish what you're doing. I'm saying I struggled with 2048, and then I played Threes for a long time, and I came back to 2048. I can get 4192. Like it, like, yeah. So like you just, Threes is so tough. It makes it so much easier to do 2048. New to Rust, how to debug Rust programs? I mean, there's 8,000 different ways. We're doing basic print line debugging. Yeah, we're just doing basic print line. I don't plan on spending too much time on this. So what do we do when we get down here and none of these paths are the best path? Like there is no best path. Because I think there should be. Is there a GDB like interface? There's a whole bunch of tools. I don't know any off the top of my head though. Yeah, there's stuff out there. I don't know. Hold on, my brain's in programming mode. Okay, some lights on, found 4 path lights off. We test this, and then we end up with false, 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 so they're all off. No lights on, halving. Lights equals true, false, false, true. Some lights on. Found 4 path to lights off. Okay, now we're going to try 310. That gets us to false, false, false. No lights on, halving. Okay. And then for solved, how's there no best path when we've solved a couple different times? So that seems incorrect. I'm just not doing something right here. Oh no, we have to do the numbers. We have to add numbers to this. Have you tried Bats Bash automated testing? Nope, never tried it. There should be a best path found. If we see solved, there should be a path found. Oh no, this only maps if it's right. This only maps if it's set. This isn't right. This is terrible. Terrible, terrible Rust code. That could be so cleaned up. I bet Clippy will yell at me. Will it? Yeah. Oh, there's wow. Okay, a lot of Clippy yelling at me here. I'm sorry. You think this is cleaner? This looks cleaner to you? That's absurd. I don't even care. still no best path found. How is there no best path found? Yeah, I love that Clippy is like Microsoft Word. It's cute. How is there no best path found if it's able to be solved? Yeah, I'm live. What up? What up? Clippy's like a linter for Rust. This is horrendous code. I'm going to try and make this work in Bash later, but we're going to see. How am I not getting any solutions here? That doesn't make any sense. I wish I understood Bash. You should make a 7-hour, 24-minute, 54-second long video spitting random numbers out, teaching me how to do it. That's incredible. That's incredible. Thank you. That's so funny. There should be best paths using this naive solution. We've gotten this answer before. So there's just something stupid that I'm missing. It never overwrites best if best is none. Oh my god, you're right. You're right. I'm so stupid. There's got to be such a cleaner way to write this logic. This logic is so garbage. Like, oh, my brain's just not in that mode right now. Yeah. Yeah, if best is nothing, then we should just make it some n. That's so right. Thank you. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you. That's the right answer, right? It's supposed to be 10. I think it's 10, 12, 11. 10, 12, 11. You can tell I've done this problem before. Oh my god. Incredible. 33. 33 is the right answer. And it's pretty fast without any caching at all. We've done no caching. So what do you say we give it the real input? It's going to spit out a lot of data at us. No, this is part 2. This is absolutely part 2. Okay. So it didn't work. No best paths found. We were aware that that could be a possibility. Which one were we trying it on, though? What is the Rust? There's like a Rust env debug crate, right? Like a debug crate you can use. Yeah, okay, we're gonna try and do this. Cargo, add log and env logger. debug, and then down here, I'll say env logger init. There we go. Sometimes I forget the exclamation mark when writing functions. Exclamation mark is for macros. They look like functions, but they're not quite functions. So you don't want the exclamation mark with functions, actually. Okay. This is nice. How fast is this? Rust is just so much faster. A better way to do map or. Yeah, I think that's probably right. Hey, look, this is the same problem that we had last night, remember? This is the same puzzle that like gave us a huge issue last night. So let's go ahead and just get that puzzle. How far down do you think that is? 15? That's a guess. Well, teal is not a command. 36, 207. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. So this is the one that breaks it. Okay. Now we can do this. We could do rust log equals debug. Hey, look at this. Okay, cool. That format is horrendous. Why did the programmer quit his job? He didn't get a raise. What, did you look that up? That's incredible. Okay, so in this case right here, we have 0 paths to I hate this case. In this case, we have 0 paths from this state. So if we divide it by 2, the divide by 2 solution is not viable. So in the case that the divide by 2 solution is not possible, I think we're not going to get around this. In the case where the divide by 2 solution is not possible, I think we might have to do more. Let's do this for now. What am I doing here? I'm just writing the worst code I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm deconstructing it just to put it back together. Dividing in half didn't work, lol. Okay, so when dividing in half doesn't work, what do we do? This sucks, but I think we need to press every button, right? We need to loop every single possible button, press it, and then try from there. I think we have to do that. I have a video where I talk about Dvorak accordion because it's kind of it's a long answer to that, sadly. For button in self dot buttons. +1 because we pressed one button. We're gonna do the same stupid logic here. Terrible. Okay. Yeah, this seems like it's going to be slow again. Like, that's just not a good way to do it. What else do you do when you can't divide it in half? Like, this solution just doesn't work. Here's what we're going to try. Let's turn off that cargo run -- release. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Time that. I'm going to go grab something to drink. I'll be right back. I also made a sandwich. I don't think this is gonna run. This is terrible. Oh, Lapis, don't worry. We haven't done any caching. We haven't cached anything. So I think caching will make a huge deal here. Like a huge deal. So I'm not too worried about that. Cheese, PB&J. It's just peanut butter. Just peanut butter and bread. Super boring. What's up, TCP Quick? Would love to see your version of a 7-hour Rust course. Listen. We'll see if that ever happens. No, I feel like I can just see how long it'll take. Yeah, I don't know if I want to sit here and wait for that to finish. That'll be super annoying. Arthur Campbell, yo, thoughts on the safe sleep script from GitHub? You are the third person to ask me this. I will tell you the same thing I told someone in my Discord. I usually try to stay away from viral topics like that because it attracts the wrong kind of audience. I get a lot of drama seekers or people that are out for blood, and I just don't appreciate that. I like the audience I've built up so far. However, it does seem like it's right up my wheelhouse, and I do have thoughts about it. So I think it'd be a cool video to talk about, like, user space versus system space and showing, like, different versions of sleep, how you can sleep in the kernel versus sleep in user space and stuff. So it'd be kind of fun. What would you be caching in this case? What you've already checked? Yeah. Yep. So I would cache pretty much a joltage level, and if it's invalid, and what its best score is. Meaning what its best path is. So if we get a joltage level, then we know the fastest way to go down. That's what I would cache. Yeah, I'm not waiting 5 minutes for Rust. Yeah, me too, Ash. 5 minutes for Rust in release mode. That's crazy. So let's make a new cache. We should store a hash map. Yeah, true. We do have options instead. Here's what we'll do. Quick check if it's solved, check if it's invalid. If hash map of, can I make a vec of i64 as the key? Can I do this? And this would be an option of an i64. Is this valid? Probably not. Hey, might not be. What is cache? What do you get out of a hash map? I don't want contains. I guess I just want the get function. Cache.get. Self.joltages, and you need a reference. Then we will get the option out of it. So if it's set, then we'll do something. You do need standard collections hash map. Yep, I got that. I already wrote that. Let's just see if this works. Oh, yeah, you're right. I wrote standard hash map. I just, yeah, blanked on that. In my mind, I wrote it correctly. So everywhere we call solve, we'll just pass in the mutable reference to the cache, which should just be that. Oh, classic Dave. Yo, so true. All right, if it's cached, we don't even need to care what it is. We just need to return it. That's awesome. So this will run. Well, let's make sure it actually runs. Okay. Now, we need to actually start caching some bad boys. Let me just eat. Okay. So here's our first solution. So we can do cache dot insert self dot joltages and the value is n. And cache.insert half.joltages, and that should be divided by 2 because we've already multiplied it by 2. Not great, but you know, hey, we're here. Let's make sure that's sane. It's not sane. Oh yeah. What the heck was that? Now, if that doesn't work, we come down here. And when we have the answer, if it was solved, then we cache that without the button press. So cache.insert machine.joltages.clone, and solved is the answer there. If it's not solved, we still do want to cache it. Yeah, we actually just want to cache it. That is a spoiler. This question is very tough. Let O equals machine dot solve cache no matter what dot insert machine dot joltages dot clone O. We just store that no matter what it is, and then we can do more work here. Okay. Okay. And I call it, don't I call it one more time? Is that it? Okay. What'd you yell at me for? Cache is a reference to the data it refers to cannot be borrowed as mutable. Cache, mut cache. Yeah, isn't that what did I not make it that? Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Hey. Hey. Look at that. $33 is correct. 33 is correct. Now, wait, am I crazy? Didn't it blow past this one before? Didn't it like blow past solving this one before? Yeah, it did. Why are we stuck on this one all of a sudden? How are we stuck on this one because we started caching? That doesn't make sense. How does adding a cache cause that to happen? Thank you, Dr. Space. I could print out the size of the cache. When we store the cache value, it's only when we solve it below it, not above it, so that's correct. I feel like we're going down this path when we don't need to. That's just what we discovered last night. Like some of these could be solved really nicely with the naive sum solution, and some of these can't. Like, let's try this. Let's just try this. And okay, it'll break it this one. That's fine. It'll break it this one. Let's do this. Instead of unwrapping it, we'll just do this. Okay. Wow, it just can't solve. It literally cannot solve this problem. So, without that problem, we get this. Now let's go ahead and put the naive solution in. Not the naive. Let's uncomment that. Yeah, literally just going to manually do it this time. Let's do this. And let's give it that one solution using that weird head pipe tail thing. And now we get 31 there. So I think that's it. Like if we do this, pipe it to, what does bad cop always do? Paste minus st plus hyphen. There we go. Pipe that to BC. You guys ready? We are going to, oh my God. I can't even talk. Drum roll, everyone. We're going to put our first guess in here. Yes! Let's go! Oh my God, it's 1 a.m. Oh, I don't want to wake my neighbors up. Let's go! Let's go! Yes! 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 No linear algebra. No linear algebra. No math. No math. We just needed Rust, and we had to run it in one way sometimes, and in another way sometimes, and then put it all together. Because that one example that just started with all even numbers, screw that example. This is... In my brain, there are still examples that break this. I need you to understand this. I didn't cover every possible case. I just think it's my real input that didn't go through all these branches. So I don't know what kind of nonsense Eric is cooking up there. But this is like, what, the 5th, 6th stream that we've done this? Yes! Thank you, everyone. We are crushing it. That's the right answer. You are one gold star closer to decorating the North Pole. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Oh my God, Bob Null. Bob Null, thank you for the $10 super chat in YouTube. That's amazing. Oh my God. I'm so hyped. Let's go. Seems I joined at the right time. You did. You did. You did. Dark Space, you are right. You only need to solve your input. That is so true. Oh my God. Whew. Love hype, Dave. Yes. Get hyped. Oh man, the chat just overflows on YouTube. I'm sorry. I probably just like woke people up. Oh my God. You were here. You were here. You were here. Day 12, part 2 next. You guys ready? You guys ready for day 12, part 2? Do you think we could do it? How quickly do you think we could do it? I think you woke up my neighbors. Dark Space knows how fast I could do this. He told me last year how fast I was able to do it. Yo, thank you for the bits, everyone, in Twitch. Oh my God, Ash, 100 bits, get out of here. Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't know why that wouldn't solve with the cache, though. Everything else did. I think it's just because some of those problems were very big. And once the cache helps, but once I added in all those possible button presses, once the even solution failed, then I needed to. So I could rewrite it. I could make it where we have 2 implementations, the naive and the thorough. And then if we fail the naive, we implement the thorough. I could do that. I don't feel like it. We just had to solve it from my input. Maybe I'll come back and clean this up if I make a YouTube video talking about it. But right now, I do not care. I do not care. You've got it. That's right. Oh, man. Oh, man. We got it. We got it. We crush it. Everyone. Whew. Thank you for being here, everyone. This is a ton of fun. Let's do Dave 12. Dave 12. Oh, man. How's that for annoying? I used to do that in high school. I haven't kicked that habit. That sounds weird. That's just like packing a tin with chewing tobacco. I'm not talking about that habit. I just mean literally doing the finger snaps. Literally doing the annoying finger snaps. Oh, man. All right. When you say you'll come back and make a video about solving it, do you mean going through it so others can see how you did it? Will you remember? Yes, Ash, that's exactly what I mean. I do need a moment away from it. I will remember. So I'm going to rewatch these VODs, look through my solutions, look through my code, and then make a video for the Advent of Code. So I'll be like, hey guys, this is Advent of Code 2025, day 1. Here's how I solved it. Here's how I would approach this problem in Bash. Guys, here's the funniest thing. I didn't do anything differently here than I did in the Bash solution. So like the Bash solution could just work if I had a only naive and a only regular solution. You know what I mean? Like we can go through, well, maybe we'll go through tonight and actually see what we're working with here. If you want to see a linear algebra solution, I have a commented algorithm on my GitHub. Can't link it on YouTube. I would love to see that. Are you in my Discord? You could put it in my off topic. I should make like a stream channel, but if I have an off topic thing in my Discord, you could dump it there. Oh man, I did that a lot. My finger got really sore. Dude, it does. Yeah, your finger actually legit gets sore, and I'm clipping the mic. Can you write a cache in Bash? Yes. Oh yeah, Bash has key value stores. We've used it a lot here. All right, let's do this. Day 12, part 2. You have enough stars to finish decorating the North Pole. Thank you, NMBB, for the bits. Ready? Congratulations, you finished every puzzle Advent of Code 2025. I hope you had as much fun solving them as I have making them for you. I'd love to hear about your adventure. You can get in touch with me, contact my website, or through Blue Sky or Mastodon. Yes! Or sometimes Eric just jumps in my chat, which is super nice. If you'd like to see more things like this in the future, please consider supporting Advent Code and sharing it with others. I've highlighted the Easter eggs in the puzzle just in case you missed. Hover your mouse over them and the Easter egg will appear. I always thought that was super cute. I mean, I know there's going to be one Easter egg. I saw the half presses don't count thing, so I know that's going to be an Easter egg. Listen, I play a lot of Super Mario 64. Or was that in day 9? Was it here? Nah, I don't remember where the half A presses was. Nah, we'll find out later. It's not super important. That's awesome. Let's go. Look at this. Crushed it. Beautiful. Beautiful artwork. Beautiful. Whew. Congrats, mate. Amazing persistence. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Was it? You know what? Actually, you're right. It might actually be day 10. I'm just so far removed from part 1 of day 10. It seems like a different, challenge. Yeah, you're right. It is day 10. 0.5 A presses. Let me see those. But only because there aren't A buttons. I'm pretty sure this was in 2024 as well. There was a joke about 0.5 presses. We crushed it. We crushed it. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. This is awesome. I'm not ending stream, but thank you for hanging out and seeing this one through. Whew. Time to play some piano. What do you think? A press is a press. You can't say it's only half. Yeah, I mean, do you know where that comes from? The half A press thing from Super Mario 64. Tassers are working on this, the A button challenge. Pan and Coic 2012 on YouTube talks about it a lot. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure for anyone else tuning in and stuff. Just because I love that stuff. Oh man, I love Super Mario 64. It's one of my favorite 3D platformers. It's my favorite game of all time, really. It's a fun thing. It's about Super Mario 64, for the Nintendo 64. And Tassers out there, tool-assisted speedrunners, are working on challenge to beat the game without pressing an A button once. So there's this concept of half A button presses, which is Mario acts differently when the A button is held down. So certain stars only require half an A press. What that means is you have to start the level with the button A held down, but it stays down for the duration of the level. This can help in reducing the number of A buttons required. A presses required. Because if you have to press the A button once, you can just keep holding it down, and then when you go to the next star, you already have it held down. So certain things like Mario will float farther when he has the wing cap. Do you automatically start swimming? I actually don't know if it affects your swimming. I don't know. It can do some things like that. The slow fall with the wing cap is probably one of the biggest ones, I think. I don't know. I don't think I'll be doing 2015 all in one go. Oh my god, I can't believe we did it. I can't believe that actually worked. Let me go here before I forget. Where are we? We are here. rm-rf .git. Oh, did it not? You know what? Did it not make a Git directory because it knew I was already in a Git directory? That's actually legit if that's the case. But it did make a Git ignore, right? It didn't even make a Git ignore? Okay, let's just do this. Oh, okay. Okay, this looks good. The relief was palpable. Dude, totally was. Totally, absolutely was. And the answer came really fast. Yeah. Yeah, Cargo's smart. A little bit too smart. I wish it had put a git ignore in the root of the project, because you can have git ignores in subdirectories. I think we should revisit this one. Maybe not right now, but we're already here. Because we have caching. So let's see real quick. We only have to solve my puzzle. We only have to solve my puzzle. I have to keep repeating that, all right? We're gonna move part 2 new to Dave 12. No. Move part 2 Rust, okay? It's all brand new stuff today, and this will go in out Rust. So now, let's go down here, and let's do 5 at a time. Let's cat the example, run it through, translate, and run it through part 2 Rust. Okay, cat out Rust, and we get this. Those are the right answers because it gives you 33 at the end. Okay, now this is the naive solution, so this should break. It should break for that one, but it should give me the answers for everything else, I believe. I don't remember what was slow about this. Okay. Okay, we are not maxing out the cores. I think if we run this, I think this should finish. If I'm right, this should finish, and it should just be 1 away. There's no way we, like, if this works, the little amount of code I had to change to make this work is crazy, but I would have never seen it. I would have never seen it had I not rewritten it in Rust. Like, it was like a restart for my brain. I mean, there's no guarantee this works, you know what I mean? But 52, 54. Wow, okay. What do you mean your solution only works on your input? That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Sorry. My solution works on my input. My solution only has to work on my input. So I have to keep reminding myself of that. I can see some blind spots in my solution. I don't know if it would fail on other people's input, but we know it works on my input because I already got the right answer. So that's what I keep telling myself. As I'm coding, I can see blind spots where I want to add more checks and more checks. And I have to remind myself, I don't need to do that. It already worked on my input. I don't need to perfect this algorithm when it already worked for me. This thing's cranking. If this gives me the right answer, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh and be like, guys, we already did it. We're gonna be, if my calculations are correct, we should be 1 short when this is done. That means it should be 176 when it is done. How far did you get in the bash version? The bash version is running right now. The bash version is running, and it has to solve 177 problems. It's already solved 146 out of them. So pretty far. We just need to make sure we're actually doing things right. I understand your solution except the divide by 2-bit. I still have no idea how that works. I'd have to take some time to explain it. Because it was just a hunch based on the parity of the lights. And it worked. It's still, like, it doesn't necessarily have to work. I can't explain it right now. It was just an optimization. If all the joltages are even, think about part 1 of the problem. If all the joltages are even, we are at a state where all the lights are off. That's what the final state has to look like. Remember, this final state has to be all zeros. Imagine if we... Oh, man, this is so confusing. In the example, they want you to start at all zeros and work your way up to the joltage levels. In my example, I started at the joltage levels and I worked my way down to 0. If I have to get to all 0 flat, I have to get to all even numbers because zeros are all even numbers. So I have to turn all my inputs as fast as I can into all even numbers. And once they're even, I can divide by 2. If they're still even, I can divide by 2 again, and I can see if I know how many presses it takes. If they're all 8s, I can divide them to 4, and then I can divide them to 2. 8's a bad example. If they're all 6s, I can divide it down to 3, and then I can calculate the fastest route from 3 to the next set of all even numbers. Whatever it takes to get 3 to 0, I can just press those buttons again, multiply it by 2, and that's what it takes to 6. If I know how to get to all 12s, I can just do that exact same set of inputs, and I will get to 24. That's, I don't know if that's helpful or not. Yes, what I'm saying is I could take someone else's inputs and they might not pass my code. In fact, if someone else's inputs didn't have that one case that was breaking mine where all the starting numbers were even, my naive solution might work with someone else's input. All right, so we are at 164 right now, and we have to get to 176 is my hunch. I could restart it over with more parallelization, but I think it's fine. What I could also do is I could cat out rust star sort minus nr. We do have a blank one. Okay, that's not good, but we'll figure out. I think 19 was the one that showed up blank for some reason. Last time, that is. 167. I do wish I could see which ones were currently being worked on. So you're assuming that optimal 2x equals 2 times optimal x? Yes. Yes. That's the assumption I'm making. It's not a good assumption because it did break on some of the puzzles, but for the puzzles it worked on, it worked. I'm not mathematically suited enough to tell you if there's like some law why that works or if I got insanely lucky. I'm willing to bet it's not insane luck, but I'm willing to bet there's some luck there. 173 is not that bad. Like, that's really good. So if we cat, what was my answer? 18771 was my answer. If we cat out rust star, get rid of the empty lines, and then pipe that to paste minus st plus, pipe that to bc. 18250. We're really close. We're really close. I think this algorithm's going to work. Like, that's crazy. Oh my God, I hit a follower count goal. Heck yeah. Thank you everyone for following the stream. That's super nice. If you're watching on Twitch, go ahead and hit that follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, you are legally required to subscribe. Because my subscriber growth has been amazing since I put out the bash course. So I'm very stoked on that. I love seeing that number go high. I think I gained over 1,000 subscribers since the bash course has been out, which is crazy. It's like the most growth I've had in a single day. All right, so I think there's one more that's working. 18250, and we have to get to 18771. So we have to go up by another 500. If I could, I would subscribe twice. Well, thank you. So one of these just has nothing in the file. I think it's 19, because that's what it was last time we did this. I still can't believe this type of content gets this many subs. Dude, I agree. I literally agree. Like, I made my first video on Bash like 3 years ago, literally as a joke. Like, as a joke. I told my friend, I was like, watch this content. Yo, what's up? My name's Dave, and you suck at programming. Here's how you LS. I would not think that so many people would watch this content. I love it. I'm so thankful for it. Dude, 19K views. Yeah, 19K views on a 7-hour video in like 36 hours. That's like my highest video yet, I think. Oh yeah, look, 19 is the one that failed. Do you think most of your viewers have no idea what you're doing? No. I don't think that. I think there are a fair number of people who don't, but I don't think it's most. I think it's probably like 20 to 30%. Just watch for the entertainment value based on what people have told me. 177. Okay, we have a solution for everything. Now, some of them are empty. So, let's see. How many people watch the full 7 hours? I can't get access to that information easily. I can only kind of infer it. I don't have a good answer to that. Okay, so 19 had nothing. And what was the one that was bad? The one that was tough? 22, roughly. So it's going to be 21, 23. I don't remember. My numbering might be off. $31. It looks like it did get the answer for that one. It's just missing the answer for 19. Something about 19 doesn't like it. 18740. Okay. It's literally just off by 31. So something about this solution, it does not like 19. Oh, wait. Nope. Hold on. I'm looking at the wrong file. Hilarious. $21. 21 didn't get an answer. 21 is the bad one. 21 is the thing. It's not 21, it's off by 1. It's this one. Yeah, it's this one. It's literally this one that's not getting the answer. That's what's happening here. Okay, now part 2, Rust. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. If $? Equals 0. So only write it out if it's success. RM out Rust 21. Okay, so that's what it's saying. It's saying the cut in half didn't work. So if I got a part 2 Rust and we go to that dude, I'm gonna have nightmares about this too. Just get rid of this. Now we brute force all the event buttons. I don't know how long this one's gonna take. I put in all my code. Okay, so now we got something. Cat out Rust 22? Was it 22 or 21? Well, we got an answer. That's it. That's it. That's the answer. It's 18771. Dude, it's just... Wow. We had all of the logic. We literally had all of the logic in Bash. I just couldn't get it over the finish line. I just could not get it over the finish line. RM part 2, RM part 2, new. Move part 2, Rust to part 2. Yeah. Wow. We just couldn't drive it over the finish line. That worked. It worked in Bash. I could write better code. Let me explain what I mean. Remember how I had to turn on and off this thing? I could take a flag that says naive or not naive. I could do it that way. I could have a flag that has a naive or not naive flag. Try the naive solution first. If it fails, fall back to this one. I could do it all in one fell swoop. I do not care. Oh my God. It works in Bash. We're done. We're done. Advent of Code 2025 in Bash. In Bash and a little Rust. In Bash. Done. We did it. It works. 2026 AOC. Nah, Ash already said that. Wow, I can't believe it. I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked. I can't believe it just works. Dude, the relief, man. The relief. Eric, where are you? I gotta yell at you. Oh my God. The relief. Oh my God. The Rust was just a recenter. It's so true. Like I already had the, like I didn't change much in the bash and it just worked. Yeah. We did it. We did it with no linear algebra. I don't think it should have worked. Also, the dividing by 2 thing was because I was lazy. I actually think instead of dividing by 2, you could take the greatest common divisor among all the numbers. So dividing by 2 is the cheapest way because they're all even. I know I can divide by 2, but they might also be all divisible by 3. They might be all divisible by 5. And if I had that, I could probably speed it up even further. The nice thing is if I could divide by 2 twice, if it's divisible by 4, we do get there with this solution. But yeah. Generating input that will break the algorithm. Yeah, you totally could. Oh man, you could come up with some solutions that are just mean. Like solutions that do divide by 2 and then take like 4 button presses to get to 0, when in reality it might be easier just to get your way to 0 without doing it that way. Like you totally absolutely could. I do need a brute force emoji. Does Bad Cop have one on her stream? I think I like vaguely remember that. Oh man. I'm stoked. That worked out so nicely. We did it, boys. I'm basking in it. I am basking in it. Thank you for believing in me, everyone. Because you know what? If no one believed in me, it doesn't matter. I'm crazy and would still do it anyways. But I appreciate that people saw the vision. Because I could have just given up. I could have just been like, oh, let's express this as linear algebra and then run it through a solver. Like, boring. There we go. I do need a little video, audio visualizer. I wouldn't be able to I probably wouldn't be able to get a real-time stream of desktop audio. It'd be cool if I could. I don't know how to hook into that. If there's a way to get record desktop audio and get the waveform programmatically, which I'm looking at OBS, it definitely is doing. If I can do that on the command line, I could pipe it into a bash script and then visualize based on that. So that'd be nice. If I had a program that could read like data like that, I could pipe it to some sort of visualizer. I do like this tree animation though. I do want to add snowfall to it. I think adding snowfall to it will be next. We'll just do a stream where we do that. The whole thing should just have snowfall on it. And then that'll be a nice little fun thing to do for Christmas. Dude, the linear algebra stuff is wild. All right, let me pull up this shadow room if you're still here. I want to pull up your linear algebra solution because I have no idea what any of that is. Yes, you can do it on a Mac. How would I get the audio stream like that on a Mac? What would I have to do? Like, I definitely can, obviously. Like, OBS is reading my desktop audio. I just have to figure out, like, what it's doing, you know? I know X-Eyes. I don't know about X now. Bad Cop did a snow animation thing, too, so I'd have to see what she did. I'd be curious to see. But I already have ideas for my own with, like, a little Tetris clear at the bottom type thing. Time for a hot tub stream? Oh, my God. I should do something like that. 100,000K subscriber special hot tub stream. It's so funny because I think like 90% of my audience would, no, 98% of my audience would hate that. And there's the 2% of people that are in my DMs, men and women, they don't discriminate, that are, they have some very colorful and beautiful language to say about my body and my chest hair and my beard and my grisly appearance, and more power to them. Listen, you're into what you're into. I think that's great. I don't mind it. It's just funny how forward some of them are. I don't respond, but I definitely see some of the messages I get. It's crazy. Program called Loopback. Okay, interesting. I'm a celebrity now. Pedal board reveal. It's a tiny little sustain pedal and that's it. There are, Ash. Exactly. I'm a big shot. Socks might be able to. Yeah, that's true. Alright. I have a Shadow Rim solution pulled up here. And I'm scared. Soundflower. I've heard of that. Definitely heard of Soundflower. Halloween with pumpkins. That'd be cool. That'd be a fun one. This language is ridiculous. Okay. Part 1, part 2 equals 0. We have a utility function. You can just put exclamation marks in functions. That's sick. I don't know what this function does, so let's do this. Split the data on new lines. Hey, I understand that much. Machine data, split the line, get the indicator lights, get the wiring schematics, and okay. Correct for one base indexing. How fun. Get the joltage requirements. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, interesting. You start the whole thing at zeros, and then you dot equal to a 1. What is that equal to? I don't know these operators. But I can see they have an array where, or something. You have a something. Part 2. Use linear algebra to reduce the search space by finding space of all solutions. There are multiple solutions, so there will be a null space that will have to be searched through. Okay. So does that mean like a little bit of searching or like brute forcing? I shouldn't say brute forcing. Like it sounds like a little bit is relevant. Does assignment for multiple elements at once. Oh, cute. Okay. Rational dot stack. Yeah, see, brother, I don't know what's happening here. Yeah, some brute force searching. Okay. Yeah, dude, I have no idea how to even understand this. Okay. What are free variables? Oh, free variables is an algebra thing. I'm thinking of variables like code. Stack just makes a matrix. Okay. I'm on variables pog. This has to be how non-tech people feel when they look at my code. Like I have no idea what I'm reading right now. Nope. I need someone. I need someone to do what I'm going to do for Advent of Code and be like, hey, Dave, hey, make a YouTube video. Hey, Dave, here's how we solve day 10 part 2 using linear algebra. Yeah, I would need to explain it like I'm one version, actually. I know Bad Cop has done it. I could probably go watch her VOD because she didn't bash, so at least I can follow the language there. This is a mess. This is wild, but it's a very small solution. I like it. I like how like simple it is. Huh. You don't know language? Listen, brother, me neither. Oh, look at that. What's this? This is my bash course? Hey guys, check it out. You want to learn how to program in bash? Check out my bash course. Look how good I am at selling this stuff. Oh, you want to check it out? It's on my t-shirt. That's so cool. The funny thing is, it's free. I'm not even selling anything to you. I am such a good salesman. I could funnel people so easily. But I don't like that. I'm not against making money. I'm not against people who sell things. I actually think it's pretty dope. I just like releasing educational content for free. I don't like putting it behind a paywall. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't sell things. Like I enjoy selling things, especially if I can make a fun, cool product or something. If I ever made some sort of like a login service with like a back end that needed upkeep, yeah, I'd probably charge for that. But what would I even make? I have no idea. I have no idea how to extract money out of my audience except for putting up a Patreon and being like, hey guys, completely transparently, this is just if you want to give me money. You literally don't have to. Yeah. Let me give you my 0 cents. Yo, Mickey Tails, appreciate it. Wait, you made a 7-hour, 24-minute, and 54-second bash course video for free? Lapis. I did. Thank you so much. Which was more readable, Julia or OCaml, Dave? Oh my god, actually, that's a great question. The OCaml made me feel how an LLM feels, where I was looking through it and I was like, oh my god, I know what's going on. But then if you asked me to get specific about any line, my brain would completely shut down. So I could lie to you and be like, oh my god, you're absolutely right. This is so easy to read. And then if you ask me what a specific line does or why there's an underscore there or what that, FN fun keyword is doing, I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea actually what's happening in this line. I was lying and I don't understand any of it. So Julia, I respect because I didn't understand it at all from a 1,000-foot view or from a 1-foot view. OCaml at least made it seem like I knew what I was doing. OCaml is like the opposite of Perl. When I look at Perl, I think to myself, what the hell is going on here? But when I zoom in on a line, I'm like, hey, I understand what that line's doing. I understand all these words independently, but as a sentence, it makes no sense. OCaml as a sentence, I'm like, hey, I know exactly what this program's doing. How it's doing it, dude, I got no idea. So there you go. Those are my thoughts there. By the way, love how your content stays LLM free. Yes, you will find that out about me. I'm pretty staunchly against using sort of like LLMs or even AI or generative AI. I don't like any of that stuff. I don't make it a big deal. I don't fault people who use it. Obviously, I don't stand on like my pedestal and look down on people on my channel. I don't like to do that. I just like to I like to foster a community of like education and stuff and working through problems. But like personally, no, I'm not using LLMs. I'm not using AI. I don't use Gen AI. I don't like any of that stuff. That's the syntax thing. It's simple though. Yeah, I can understand that. Cause like that syntax was all new to me. So it was, but imagine the first time looking at Rust. Oh my God. So yeah. Oh, there's a cool thing to the Bash website. So actually, So here's the thing. Check out this purchase thing, right? The course is completely free and it's available as a YouTube video. If you would like to support the content, please consider. And there's 4 options here to do it. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's free. That's how you can support the content. Joining my Patreon, $5 a month or more. Making a one-time purchase is a Patreon digital sale, $10 once, or donating to me, and that's through Ko-fi, which is just name your own price, right? I said you can buy the course if you'd like to receive a DRM free download, blah, 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 blah. I had multiple people read this and pay $10 on Ko-fi and then email me and say they never got a link to the course. And in my brain, I was like, well, dude, the digital sales through Patreon, like Ko-fi was just for donating to me. But when I reread this, I was like, okay, this is incredibly confusing. This sucks. So I sent them the link, obviously, to the download. But here's the cool thing. If you did pay for my course or if you donated and you feel like, hey, I was supposed to get a link to that download, I put this up on the website now. If you've already paid, you can get your download link here. This is a very advanced system to ensure that you've actually already paid and you're allowed to download this MP4 video, because the course is free on YouTube, but to get the DRM free copy, I do ask that you pay 10 USD, and you can do it through a Patreon digital sale. I'm okay if you want to send it over Ko-fi or sign up for my Patreon, you get access to it. But here's the high-tech solution I went with. This advanced download system uses the honor system. So please make sure you've paid before downloading the file. And then here's the link to the MP4 served on my server, or you can just run this wget command to get it. So this is a very advanced high-tech service that verifies and it validates and verifies who you are. Okay, we want to make sure there's proper authentication here. It's done over HTTPS, so it has to be secure. So yeah, I'm using this awesome thing called the honor system. So if you've paid, go ahead and download the MP4 file. The only thing I ask, like I say up here, like, you want to share it to your friends, give them the link, give them the option, give them the YouTube video. And if you want to react to it on your stream, or you want to make content or show it to your professor, or if you're a professor, you want to show it to your students, or your student, you want to show it to your professor, go ahead. I don't care. You're a streamer, you want to react, and you even want to upload those VODs to YouTube of you reacting. Awesome. I think that's super cool. You want to re-upload this wholesale? No. Boo. Don't just re-upload this. But if you want to transform the content, dude, it's all yours. So yeah, we're using this beautiful thing called the honor system. So I like that. I thought that was fun. How big is that 7-hour file? 2.1 gigs, 2.2 gigs, just a little bit over 2 gigabytes. The raw MOV file that I uploaded to YouTube was like 100 gigs. If I donate $20, can I download it twice? Yes. So you have to decide. You can either download it twice, or you could download it once, but really fast. So you just got to make that decision. Serious answer? If you pay for it, you can download it as many times as you want. I don't actually care. Thank you, Ash. 19K views. That's so awesome. Military grade AI backed encryption that will catch any re-uploads 50 hours before you try. That's what the S in HTTPS stands for. That's so true. Now, I think the S in HTTPS is sort of like the S on Superman's shirt. It means hope on my planet. Well, my brain's completely fried, but in a very good way. I feel immense relief. I'm so thrilled. I can't believe that worked. That was a really tough year. Eric, you crushed it this year. I know you're not here, but Eric just absolutely crushed on these puzzles. Go to Advent of Code, support Eric if you can. Actually, might donate some more money to him because I am AOC++, meaning I've donated money. I'll probably go throw another money at him. I don't know. I always feel weird talking about money. Some people are weird about it. I actually just don't care. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, I just upload my YouTube earnings. I made a whole video talking about all my earnings. Like, I don't actually care about money. I just know some people get weird when it comes to donations and stuff. You might need a shovel. Yeah, if you're paying pennies, yeah, nope. I won't be doing that. Although one person did ask if they could pay me in Bitcoin, and I'm cool with that. I should like put a wallet up there or something. Like, I don't mind that. The pop-off was legendary. Dude, my pop-offs for day 9 part 2 and day 10 part 2 are like, I love it. I didn't even expect to pop off tonight because I didn't expect to get the answer. I didn't expect that the answer was going to work. Like, I'm not even kidding. When I hit submit, like, you know, it says that's the right answer. You're 1 gold star closer. When you hit submit, you either see 2-line paragraph or a 4 or 5-line paragraph. If you see a 2-line paragraph, you got it right. If you see a 4 or 5-line paragraph, it says a lot of words, you got it wrong. I was expecting to see a lot of words. When I saw that thin paragraph, that thing that just told me like I got it right, I couldn't even believe it. Like, I just did not expect that to work. Just did not expect that to work. Yeah, I'll be going back to previous years. I'll be doing more live streams. I might take a little bit of a break. Obviously, I mean, the bash course is out. This is out. I gotta relax, man. But I'm just having so much fun making this content. Like, it's so much fun. I know that my bank gets weird about money. You deserve some money. Well, thank you. That's a really nice thing to say. I think the FFmpeg guys are way underpaid for how much the internet they hold up. Dude, I agree with that 1000%. Oh my God. FFmpeg is such a great project. It's just, it truly is the Swiss Army knife of like video files, audio files, any sort of like audio, like any sort of AV stuff. Like it is, it's absolutely goated. Like it's a part of my process for doing this. Like it's crazy. I love FF. I should be donating to FFmpeg. That's a good point. It is Christmas. You could take a few days. That is true, Ash. It's just that, like, I'm tired, and I'm like, oh, I should just take the night off. I'm going to go relax. And then I'm like, I like streaming. I like this. This is a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy this. The day 10 situation is wild. I love that title. Dude, that's so funny. That's so funny. Oh my God, I love that. That's so funny. Yeah, I gotta do that. Stream you watching TV and chilling. Honestly, like, yeah, after this, I'm probably gonna go fire it into that couch and go play some Silk Song. Like, I've been enjoying that game. Streaming Silk Song would be a ton of fun. I'm already pretty far along in the game. God, I love the platforming in that game. Is just so much fun. I know there are more crests out there because I have like so many memory lockets, but I just only have 2 crests, so like something's not right. The hour-long sipping scotch video like Nick Offerman. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Shout out Ron Swanson. Yo, my buddy, Video James, actually. He's got a YouTube channel. He's big on Instagram. Way bigger account on Instagram than I have. I have like 200,000 subscribers on Instagram. This dude's got like over 400,000. He's a huge creator. He's a voice actor friend of mine. But he got, what Ron Swanson drinks in Parks and Rec. His like favorite alcoholic drink is Lagavulin. And so he had some of that. And it is the absolute worst drink I think I've ever tasted in my life. It tastes like a campfire and smoke. It's disgusting. And he's over here like, oh, it's delicious. I'm like, okay. I know you're pretending. I can't prove it, but I know you're pretending. Have you seen the Silk Song DLC? Yes, I have seen the DLC announcement. I am super stoked on that. I'm also excited because I do play on the Switch, so I saw the Switch 2 version of Hollow Knight. And Hollow Knight's just a ton of fun. Oh my God. I've said it before, I'll say it again. That Path of Pain platforming section was just perfection. Absolute perfection. You don't like it? Oh, you love it? Oh, dude, it tastes like smoke and fire. It's terrible. A drink shouldn't taste like that. But my taste buds are weird. I don't like many things, so don't listen to me. Okay. See, I like campfires. I like sitting at campfires. I like when my hair smells like a campfire. I like the pine, balsam fir. I love all those smells. So yeah, yeah, exactly. Fireball. I get down with cinnamon. So yeah, I get it. Let's see. Your video about why you suck at programming reminded me of another channel called You Suck at Cooking. So I was already familiar with the meaning behind your name. Dude, it's so funny. So many people ask, what for You Suck at Programming? Was I influenced by You Suck at Producing, You Suck at Cooking? There's a third one. There's a third one I can't think of, but they always ask me if I was influenced by those, and I say no. I was influenced by You Suck at Photoshop. Absolutely love You suck at Photoshop. That series is so funny. It's so old now, but it's so funny. Can we get an NVim course as well? I don't use NVim, so I wouldn't even be able to help you out with NeoVim. You suck at Photoshop? Yeah, You Suck at Photoshop was a series from like 15, maybe 20 years ago on YouTube. So, I mean, it's old now, but it's really funny. Like, obviously, some of the references are kind of like dated or whatever. Some of it probably doesn't hold up today. But it was just like, I remember watching it like that long ago, and it was just so funny. Heck yeah, Ash. Oh, that's one of my favorite bands. When I was 16. Yeah. Him was one of my favorite bands when I was 16. Also now. Nothing's changed, dude. All right. Oh, all right, guys. I think I'm going to call it a night here. I'm tired. We fired it in there on some good work tonight. And we crushed it. We just crushed it. I mean, what else is there to say? Like, what else is there to say? Oh, I will not be dreaming of day 10. I will push that as far out of my brain as I possibly can. Can't believe the solution worked. Doesn't even make sense that it worked. Like, it doesn't, I'm not even kidding. Like, I have so many cans up here, God, I'm disgusting. Like, the Rubik's Cube is what made me think of, like, maybe this could possibly work. But yeah, hopefully I've inspired you guys. I've inspired you to not give up, persevere, and solve problems because they're fun. They are just fun. So yeah. 2015 tomorrow. I don't know about tomorrow. No promises. But when I stream next, I'll probably add the snowfall to the Christmas tree thing because I really enjoyed that. So I'll probably do that as a fun live stream. Just kind of hang out and code and stuff. But yeah, 2015 will be next though. Of course the snowfall options will be customizable. Absolutely they will. All right, I'm jumping off. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it. head over to my YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You're legally required. You have to. The Bash course is out. 7 hours of content. Can you believe it? That is insane. Oh, someone was really cool. Someone made a pull request today, actually, because all this code is open source. Like right here, you can see the source is just like right here. So like you can actually just go to the repo for the Bash course, and everything's here. In the course, we write code. All the code that was written is here. So like you can go find it. But a couple pull requests were made, which is super nice. One person fixed some of the spans. Shout out Yan in the Discord for that. And then we had missing a reset escape sequence for the website here. And then this is my favorite one. Someone went through and added YouTube links per chapter. So now when you scroll down and here's a list of all the chapters here, these are all clickable links and they go to the video at that timestamp. How cool is that, dude? That was such a huge oversight on my part. I'm so glad someone actually just like did that, dude. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm going to head out. Yo, peace, Bob. Nell. I appreciate it. I did. I crushed it in a novel way. I'm very excited about that. I can't believe it worked. I'm still so hype on that. All right, jumping off. Thank you, everyone. Take care. I will see you guys later.